I got turned on to point ketamine probably about a year ago by my primary doctor after I was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome. And I had fallen and broken my foot, and I'd injured my hand. And I met with Amy, who was amazing as the intake coordinator, I guess you will say, from Point Ketamine. And I started having my infusions before I had my foot surgery. And the experience of those infusions was an unbelievable journey into what I like to say a vortex, if you will, where I went in with the mantra of taking my pain away, and it was to take my emotional pain away and my physical pain away, and to get my body prepared for the surgeries, because I was told by my doctors that when you go under anesthesia and you have the trauma to your body, that it can activate the CRPS. So fast forward to the surgery on my hand, the surgery on my foot, and then what we call the booster infusions, which then continue to keep the CRPS at rest, because again, after a surgery, your body can go into, can go back and start to have the sensations of the CRPS, which is a very uncomfortable tingling of nerves in my feet and my hands, and it's just not pleasant. So I'm here today to have another booster because I just had a surgery on a toe that I injured when I fell. And I really look forward to these because not only do I have things going on physically, but emotionally things come up. And the infusions enable me to get clarity. It's an amazing, enlightening feeling. It's like a purging of what we tend to hold on to. I can find forgiveness when I go on these trips, and I just feel cleansed when I'm all done. Everybody should have a ketamine treatment, regardless of what you've got going on. It treats the CRPS, the depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress syndrome, and a lot of what I have going on physically can trigger anxiety or depression, even though I'm doing so well now from these infusions. But it just keeps everything at bay and feeling like you're on an even keel, like nothing can really get to you because you've cleansed yourself emotionally and physically. I highly recommend it to anybody that has any type of an emotional issue, or anybody that's going to end up having a surgery and has any of these symptoms that I just described. Well, I, for the most part, was in good health. An injury, a fall, can really mess you up, and it tends to happen to us as we get older. Happiness was being able to carry on with my life, with relationships, with work, and this illness that is now at bay, at rest, and the infusions, this has made me feel more serene and happier. My outlook is so different. It's so much more positive because there's so much going on in this world that I feel very blessed, and I feel so much healthier. First time I heard about ketamine was when I was laying on a gurney waiting to go in for a sympathetic and a lumbar nerve block to try and help my CRPS, which didn't work. And there was a gentleman that was talking about ketamine, and I mentioned it to my primary doctor, and he said, "I'd like you to get in touch with Amy," and walked into his waiting room, and we sat on the phone for probably an hour. And there you have it. I would suggest that they speak to a patient like myself or another patient that's had a positive experience. I can't imagine anybody not having a positive experience. The best that somebody can reassure them that it will help them. And there's nothing to be afraid of. It's a very homeopathic environment. Dr. Basine is amazing. You choose your type of music. You're completely monitored. You're really there. I go into my space, but then I open my eyes and Dr. Basine's right there. So you're in control, and it's very soothing and very comforting. It's not a medicinal type of an atmosphere whatsoever. Very calming. I think I started seeing the positive effects of the infusions really shortly after. Well, I had like 6 in a row, 3 in one week, 3 in another before my major foot surgery. And I felt a difference probably after the 3rd. And then of course I had the surgery, and the surgery, I didn't know if my pain was from the surgery or from the CRPS, but I could tell a difference. And the CRPS is definitely at rest. I don't get that horrible tingling, out of control pain anymore, and that was the CRPS. It's been a very positive experience.